it's your local community, that your people you work with sending you nice messages, people you know. But I have to say, done some live interviews this week, and you're popping up and reading messages, even though it's not been our show. We've been invited by different guests, and it's popping up WAHL Dubai, WAHL India, WAHL America, you know, WAHL Spain. And I just want to say thanks to all my global colleagues out there. And I know tonight a lot of WAHL UK guys are watching this show. It's kind of building momentum now where everybody's talking about it. They're either really bored or they need to get an hobby on a Friday night to be watching me and you. But I think everybody kind of likes this nice light humour. So it's kind of good that they're all with us.
Yeah.
And, you know, I have a big shout out to the guys at WAHL, the guys that have maintained doing things at WAHL whilst we've been in lockdown. Tony Hewitt, our general manager, and his team down there. It's too many to mention, but they've done an amazing job, obviously, serving the UK in terms of clippers and keeping the country looking a little bit tidier. So, you know, from the MD, Mr. Goodman, and everybody through at WAHL, can't wait to see you all. Can't wait to get back to you all. If you're watching tonight, I've missed everybody, and I just can't wait to get back. So I think we're all set for our first look now at a little bit of live entertainment here on Barbers Arms. What's your thoughts about that, guys?
So so Tom, just give Tom an introduction then, because Tom's he's there. How are you, Tom?
Hiya.
How are you, brother?
I'm all right. Are you, pal?
Very good. It's a long time since we were back in Barnsley when I last saw you.
Correct. Yeah, back in Sam's birthday. Yeah, we went for it, didn't we?
That one the 40th.
Yeah, 50th. You're right.
I've known Tom for years. He used to be an hairdresser, and then he does a bit of barbering. He's looking to get back into barbering as well. But he's amazing on guitar. Every time we go out, whether we're in a pub, he'll always have a guitar back at Cam. He livens up the pubs. So it's fantastic to have him on Barbers Arms. He's going to start us off. Tom, over to you, pal, and then we'll see you at the end of the show.
No problem. It's a song by Oasis called Stand By Me. way it's gonna be. How did that sound? I couldn't get no audio of that.
Top man. Mr. Thomas Cass is going to be joining us later in the show around about 9:15. But thanks, my best pal Tom from Barnsley. Superb. Guys, if we ever have a party in Barnsley, you're going to see this guy live. This is fantastic. So, Gary, you've got your first guest on, Gary. Do you want to introduce him?
Yeah, this is Mr. Jack Ludlow. I'm sure a lot of you guys know him. He's originally from Wales. He's actually in Oslo at the moment, working in Norway. Can you hear me there, Jack?
Hi guys, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you loud and clear, mate. So just quickly, I mean, I'll just run through where you are at the moment. So you're at Escape, you're the salon director out there. Plus, you've also got your business back in Wales as well with your brother. But how long have you been out in Norway now?
Yeah, basically, mate, we moved here, say, 2 years ago. I came over here as an educator first to set up a company for someone. Saw Norway, thought it was great. My fiance was working in a ladies' hair salon called Escape, which had a barbershop attached to it. So then what we did is we decided then to sort of do like a little coalition together, me and the salon director, David White. And then I thought I'd bring a little bit of the UK over to Oslo and just been here since, man. Yeah, it's going quite well.
Ah, very good. Mr. Simon Shaw's here with me.
Hey, Si.
Obviously.
Jack, welcome into the arms. How you doing, bro?
Really good to see you, man. I haven't seen you in about 2 years.
Nice to see you, man. Yeah, nice to see you.
Looking really well, man.
Thank you. I'm the same age as Gary. You won't be able to believe we're the same age. But obviously, this is the effect of moonshine that you get when you drink moonshine in Stoke. It kind of messes with your beauty and stuff. So in Yorkshire, we keep away from the moonshine. We just stick to ale.
I'm on the orange squash tonight.
Orange squash? Is that allowed, Trevor? My gosh, how can we get one of our guests on to have orange squash?
Last time I was drinking beer with Gary Machin was in Toronto, and I think I was 15 minutes late for the show the day after, so I got to be careful when I'm with him.
Yeah, last time I drank with Gary, I was 15 days late.
He nearly got sacked on his first gig.
I know, I did. I have to be careful.
Bless you. So, Jack, I've got a question to start us off with that I'd like to ask you is kind of like what I'd like to know. Because I think sometimes when we're in the arms as well, it's nice. Me and Gary, we're fans as well of the show when we get as guests on, when we listen to people's questions that's coming in. So we're learning as well for us. Tell us, what's the differences between like working in Wales and working in Norway? And I just don't mean like climate and food and stuff like that. What are the main differences when somebody takes the plunge to work abroad? What's the main differences that you've noticed from yours?
Basically, the differences in regards to like just making the move in general, I think it's extremely exciting, and you sort of have like a honeymoon period where you think you're on holiday at all times. You know, like when I first came here for the first 12 months, like you eat out a lot, you want to explore, you're looking at the locations and stuff. And I think one of the most important things for me opening a business venture, regardless of where I go, is building a network. You know, I'm a massive believer. Like we all get a little bit of luck in life, but I don't think any of us do what we do on our own. So I really believe in a strong network. So my main goal when I first came over here was to magnify my network as much as I could. So I think, in Wales, I already had a network. People know who you are. Naturally, you've got people to grow up with. You know, people spread the word of your business. And as long as you do a good job, people like to pass the word for you. So I think one of the biggest differences is coming to a country where you've developed yourself already in the country where you were born, but now you have to shine the same light to a new audience. And it's a great challenge. I really enjoyed it. It's cool.
Are you speaking any of the language yet?
At the moment, I'm not. It's just been, it's hard. I know it's a bit of an excuse and I'm procrastinating slightly, but it's hard to take care of everything that's going on in the UK. Go ahead, Gah. What's he going to say?
I've got a Norwegian word for you.
What's that, mate? Skull.
Skull.
Skull, buddy.
He'd have to revert it back to alcohol, wouldn't he?
That's why I can't travel with him.
I can't travel with him. No, I can't stay in this country with him. I have to dodge him at a 9 o'clock if I come out from a meal. If we're at an exhibition, I've seen him in a bar. I obviously want to go see him and drink with him because he's great company. But I have to be careful because I've got to work the day after. He can do it. He turns up in his 3-piece suit. He looks the business. He can go on and do a shave. Calmest man in the world. I'm all I'm doing is comparing. I can't do it. He's the man. He's like
a superhuman.
Barring moonshine.
Not break like him. Honestly, like we'll have a few beers, and I'm just like a little bit frazzled, and Gary just looks like he's just walked out of the shower after being sober Monday morning. He's all good. He's like a superhuman.
I put it down to Rachel. She's the man. She's the woman behind him. That he's done a Rachel.
Anyway, getting off the booze theme. What do you miss about home anyway? What's the hardest thing about being from home anyway?
Family, hands down. Family's the hardest thing. Like I've got 3 nieces, my mum. Do you know what I mean? I'm sort of not used to seeing my dad. So I'm sort of used to not seeing my dad because he lives in Hong Kong. So it's like, but seeing my main family, that's the hardest. You know, they're your biggest supporters in everything you do in life and business or whatever. So yeah, 100%. It's hard, and I'm a little bit of a baby in that aspect. So yeah, it's definitely the hardest for me.
Yeah.
And
I have travelled with you as well. Take a lot of the...
Sorry?
You've got your partner with you out there.
Yeah, Lydia's right here with me now. Yeah, she's the one she's the boss behind the operation. She is.
Sure. Well, we're going to put you on your toes a bit later with some questions about her. So let's see if you can man up to them.
Good luck.
She's shouting in the back.
Is she Welsh as well?
Yeah, she's Welsh.
Proper. Tonight I'm going to have 2 Welsh people on the show. I love it, Gary. Where's that come from? Sounds like I'm from Pakistan. What's wrong with me?
Sorry, I've got a video on my phone of you when you announced me out for WAHL Barber of the Year final. And I come out on stage, he goes all the way from Wales, and he goes, "All right, Boyle," on stage in front of everyone.
Listen, Stella's my favourite programme.
Having a good day, boy. Thinking, yeah, man.
Hey, the only thing I know about Wales is when I watch Gavin and Stacey. So, is there anybody who you can relate to with who's Nessa?
Nessa. There's quite a lot, but I don't know if I can say it on this video. Do you know what I mean? What about you guys? Who can you relate to Nessa? People that we know.
Hey, we have to come on here every week. We can get killed if we say any name.
You've got to bear in mind, Jack, we're going to take this show live, so I'm going to be careful what we say because we're going to end up in a pub in Leicester somewhere or in Cardiff somewhere or Bridgend.
Yeah. And
I'll be like, saying to Gary, I'm just going to drive her outside with the car ticking over all the time because I took the piss down here a few times. We need to keep the car running. We're not staying in any fucking Premier Inns tonight. We're away. We're off ski. Straight away. Taxi for sure.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Gary,
hey, just getting on a serious note, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Just getting on a serious note, I saw your little video earlier on, about, opening up, giving us information about what's happening over there. I'm sure everybody's, everybody needs to know this information. I'd just like to say, not every country is going to be the same. Not everybody, we don't even know what's going to happen over here. But from your point of view, when they actually came to you, the government or whoever it was who started and put the regulations in place, and you can go on and tell us about the things that are coming. But how much notice did they give you? Who actually enforces it? And for one or the other, who actually put it in place? Was it government or was it the organisation that runs hairdressing over there?
Well, basically, it was the 13th. We just come back from the UK, so we've been in work for 3 days, and we literally heard what was going on with the coronavirus, and it was obviously spreading, unfortunately. And literally by the afternoon, it was the afternoon, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Literally by the afternoon, they said 6 p.m. this evening, you need to close your salon until further notice. And when I say they, I mean the Norwegian government. At this point, the NFVB have been very great, very helpful. They hadn't put anything in place because I'm assuming it was the same for them as well. So it was more of a case of just looking out onto the news to see what was going on. In regards to the regulations that were put in place, we had a phone call, with an email stating that we was all going to go back to work originally on the 14th of April, but then that was extended further to the 27th. I had the regulations from the hair salon director, because you know that we're a hair salon and a barbershop. So the hair salon is not mine, just the barbers. I had the regulations sent to me from the hair salon director 3 days before opening from the NFVB. So it's been a case of, it was very, very much on the day we're going to close, and then it was 3 days notice, here's your new rules. So adaptation's been essential to this. You know what I mean? It's very short notice, but we can't complain. I think everyone's done a great job. I'm extremely grateful. And like you said, everyone's circumstances are different. Like I could go down the road if you wanted me to tell you of how good the government have actually been here in Norway. I think it's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. They're seriously looking after us, but that's the least they could do when we're paying 34% income tax.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Looking for you. Just before I ask you a next question, just joining us, Gary Jackson again. Gary, one of our first guests that we had on there. Nice to see you, Gary. Top of the evening to you. We've also got Ellie, Martin and Tracy from WAHL. Welcome, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We've also got Ross Carter, who's a regular on this from Scotland. They've all come to watch you, Jack. You're so gorgeous. We've got Joe. We've got Jasmine from Canada. We've got Colin, Eric, as our drinking partner there, Gary from Dubai, Mr. Lander. We've got Andy and Emily. We've got Jackie, Dan Arthur, Carl Merlo, Tony Roberts. Hope you're feeling well, Tony. I've been watching your heartfelt videos that's been coming through, mate. So I hope you're well, pal, and my prayers are with you. We've also got Tom Chapman joining us. So nice to have you all with us, guys. On the 4th edition here of Barber's Arms, we've got Jack Ludlow at the minute in from Norway, and the main man himself, Mr. Gary Machin. So, Jack, the big question over here is at minute is obviously Boris is going to make an announcement next week, and I know Mr. Machin's got some views on that. I don't think there's going to be any big ones, but I'll let Gary speak about that in a minute.
Yeah.
From when you were working before lockdown to working now, what is the main significant differences? What has been implemented that you've implemented? Not so much the government, what changes has been made? In
regards to changes in the salon, like I said, we share with the hairdressers. The hairdressing director has taken it upon himself to install touchless basins. So when you walk in the salon, there's a button that you can hit. So the door's automatic anyway. The door opens. The process is, like I said in my video earlier on, this is all available on my Facebook. You walk in, you have access to sterilize your hands in a touchless tap. Then you walk over to the main desk, which has now got a plexiglass for protection from the receptionist. And then you're issued a document, which you have to fill out. This is all completely new, obviously. You have to fill out a document just stating that you haven't been in touch with anyone who you believe has the coronavirus. As far as you're aware, you don't have the coronavirus and that you don't have any symptoms at all. So it's a bit like a declaration. But you don't know if they're telling, well, do we know that? Is there any temperature gauges that you're taking? No. We're not medical professionals. That's what we've been told that as well. It's literally just, we've got the guidelines from the government. We take it upon ourselves. We take it upon ourselves to assess that based on what they say. Another good tool we do have access to over here, though, is we've got an app on our phone. Every single thing in Norway is done off your mobile phone, and there's an actual app. And everyone that has been tested for the coronavirus, their number is registered through to this app. So if any of those people come in 100-yard radius of you, it flashes. If they're within 50 yards of you, it actually sends you an SMS saying someone around you's had the coronavirus. So although we can't make that choice ourselves because we're not medical professionals, they're putting everything out there possible to make our lives easier. Are you wearing masks? Wear masks for face-to-face work, wear masks for shaving, any fringe trims, anything close up. But as far as we're concerned, we have the option, if we're stood behind our clients, we don't have to do that. Because Gary, did you hear today? I mean, I was looking at I think it was Ross that sent us the German thing through. Yeah. Did you see the thing about dry cuts?
Yeah. I mean, from when you look at there was a post by one of the fellas. He's got a barbershop in England and a barbershop in Berlin, And Berlin, Germany have gone really, really, really strict. I mean, from a point of view of what Jack's just described to us, in Germany, a lot of they've got a 10-point system that you have to follow. Everything has to be disposable. I don't know if this is the same as you, Jack, but everything from gowns, towels, anything that you use on the client has to be disposable, other than tools, obviously. You can't use a net brush unless you use a new one for every client. Same as you just said, Jack, you have to give it an indemnity form when you go into the salon. You have to take everybody's details so you can trace them. Even if you have a delivery, postman, anybody that comes into contact with the salon, you have to take their contact details. Disposable gowns, disposable aprons, masks, gloves, masks for the client. I mean, no magazines, 2 meters in the waiting room, nobody waiting in the waiting room, no drinks or condiments for clients. I mean, it's really serious stuff, Another thing that I thought was really, I mean, you can understand it, and it's how far we take this, is they had to have a change of clothes at work. So they could not take the clothes that they were working in home. They had to be washed on site in a washing machine in the salon, and they go home in a different set of clothes because they still don't know for definite, or there is a possibility that it can be transmitted on clothes as well. It can live on the cloth. So,
absolutely.
It's different. It's different in every country. I mean, we touched on this earlier. I've been in touch with a fella in Spain. He's a family member, actually. They've gone back to work today I think it was, his local barbershop. As long as they wear gloves and a mask, they're good to go. No other things in place. So I think this is, they're going back in pockets. They're not actually going back across the country. Australia, we talk to Trevor all the time. Most businesses in Australia, especially hairdressing, haven't even closed. They aren't even doing social distancing or anything. So, but they have got a really, really low number of cases. I mean, I don't think the borders of each state are closed, but even in, Southern Australia, where Trevor's based in Adelaide, they can't go out of the state, but a lot of the places, I think they've had less than 100 deaths there, so it does.
I think Trevor nearly got caught in one state, didn't he?
Yeah. But
Gary was in the right state last week.
I think I listened. I don't know if anybody saw it, but I listened to Barber Envy's post today with Keith Coniford. I thought it come across really well from the Barber and Hair Council, and I think he was right in what he said there. There's no point second guessing anything at the moment. I've heard of people buying PPE in bulk. As a business owner, we've got 6 locations, as everybody knows. We haven't bought anything yet, purely and simply because we don't know what's going to happen. Okay, you can second guess stuff, you can try and preempt what's going to happen, but until we actually know, I think it's very, very hard. I mean, I don't know about you, Jack, when you were in this position. When you were at work or going into work, obviously your salon director is pretty switched on. But is that the case across the business? Has every barbershop or has every business been that successful, or what's actually happened across the board?
To be honest with you, I think it's one of these things where there's going to be a lot of people closing down. Yourself, me and you had discussions endlessly, and Simon shares the same thing as well in regards to health and safety. There's so many salons out there who don't even practice proper health and safety anyway on a regular basis, which is insane. I think all those salons over here are going to completely die. There's a lot of salons which don't have the floor space to give the 2 meter gaps in the waiting rooms and the 1 meter between their clients.
Because this is something we've been speaking about here, Jack, is that some salons might potentially have to do longer hours, do shift work, because if you've got just say 5 staff, 5 clients, 1 receptionist and an assistant, all of a sudden you've 12 people in a small proximity. It needs thinking. So you're right. Have you been busy since you've been back? Did you get like that big, massive influx of everyone wanting to come in and get their barnet sorted out?
I've been as busy as the last week before we end for Christmas.
Wow, that's great news for everybody here, though. That's good news.
Yeah, man. I think that's going to happen. And I think also another great thing is for all the salons listening now, if you go the extra mile outside of the rules, this is another great thing that the ladies hairdressing salon director did. And I was speaking with him. What he did great was he, like, when we spoke and consulted, he was an experienced created outside of the rules. I think if you go in above and beyond the rules, creating your own client customer service based on new health and safety, people are going to be excited to come to you and feel way more safe to come to you. Correct. As opposed to the other people. So I think this health and safety thing is going to be one of the greatest extras of customer service you can ever offer to your clients. And if anything, make you look extremely superior as a salon.
Jack, I've been singing this from rooftops, is that it's not, we've had no guidelines at the minute. And what we're listening to, there's not that many guidelines in Norway at the minute. And you've come back and you've been as busy as what you were the week before Christmas, which is great for our listeners and viewers. We've been saying the same, both me and Gary and Joff Savills. I know you know Joff, and I've been speaking to Joff every single day. You know, it's not about what we get told to, it's what we want to do. We want to wear disposable gloves. We want to wear disposable aprons. We want to have disposable gowns. We want to have sanitizer, hygiene sprays. We at WAHL are working very hard to get this PP together. So it's not about what you're told to do. It's what you should do to move forward. It's what you should do to make your salon that different to everybody else. What a chance you've got to make yourself different for the barbers.
Absolutely. I think anyone that needs external motivation for health and safety should think about another career. You know, I think like it's a massive part of our job and what we do. You know, so I think, like you said, if you haven't got the internal motivation to project health and safety and offer it out there to people, then perhaps think about doing something else, because it's huge. Imagine not changing a blade on a cutthroat. We could talk for months and years about this stuff. You know,
it's wore gloves for shaving.
Yeah.
So, you know, have your clients had any reaction, you know, to like the plastic perspex thing between the receptionist filling in the forms, you wearing a mask? Has there been any client reaction to say, like, I like it, or I don't like it, this is weird? What kind of reaction have you had from your clients?
I think there's a great mixture. Like there's people that come in and they're a little bit like, you know, the invincible men between the age of 30 and 50, which know everything. Some of them come in and they're a little bit like, what's going on here? Like, it's clearly obvious, sir, what's going on here. You know, there's a pandemic, you know? So I think it's like some of them are either like laughing at it as if to say, oh yeah, this is a bit crazy. And others are like, oh, this is brilliant. But a lot of people don't like the fact that they can't go on their phones, you know? And it's like, obviously your phone's at your ear's by your mouth, and you're talking to the phone and put it down. It makes sense not to do it. And every time I answer
that's a plus, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Every time I answer my salon phone, it's a case of like, I have to anti-back the phone, anti-back my hands. But there's a lot of people that are just like accepting it. In regards to lockdown, there's not been much of a lockdown in Norway, I've got to be honest. And this is where it's going to be different to the UK. And I really feel massively for the UK. I'm on the phone to my mum. She's a hairdresser. Every single day I'm on the phone to my mum. And she's like, oh, what's going on, Jack? Trying to fill her in. You know what I'm saying? She's a small business in South Wales. But over here, you've had restaurants and pubs shut down, which that's the lockdown. You can't serve alcohol. But people are free to do as they please. It's more of a social distancing sort of thing, as opposed to saying, stay in your house and self-isolate. No one's isolating, no one at all. It's like unless you've been abroad within 2 weeks of the 13th of March, only then you self-isolate for 14 days and then you can go back out. But the numbers over here are tiny.
Yeah, it's massive. It's been massive over here.
Anyway,
we're curving it.
Simon, before you go any further, Yaki Dar.
What would you be drinking, Jack, tonight if you weren't drinking orange juice? You lightweight.
I'll probably be drinking a beer, mate.
Ready, guys?
Yaki Dar.
Yaki Dar. That's just that went in my head.
I know some Welsh as well.
You probably know more Welsh than me.
I'm probably more Welsh than you, boyo. Yeah, Jack, have you had any nightmare haircuts that's coming? You know, people have done, because over here, mate, everybody's fascinated. Even though it's just been 6 weeks, it's like Job said today. Who's going out anyway? They're bugging barbers to go to their houses and cut their hair. It's like, no, just you're not going out, you're staying in. But
Yeah,
I've seen some, everyone just had this fantasy thinking, right, I'm locked down, I'm going to shave my hair off, which has been great for us. But there's some nightmares out there, and I've seen some people attempting to do skin fit. Oh, it's easy. I've seen my barber do it. You do it 0, and it's like some horror shows. Have you had any?
Yeah, I've had a few people come in like looking like the cast of the Peaky Blinders. You know what I mean? You know, like when someone tries to do a skin fade, like you say, and then they take it a little bit too high as an undercut. I have one of my friends is a horse farrier, and he said, "I've done a good job of my hair, done this, done that." I was like, "Bro, you haven't done a good job of your hair." And then another one of my friends came in, and he was like, he was really, really sure that he did a great job of his hair. And then when you show them the mirror at the back, what they can't see doesn't look so great. So I think everyone's valuing exactly what we do right now.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, mate. I mean, when we get out of all this, at least we'll be, you know, people have missed us, and they'll more high esteem, if you like. If anything else, they'll have missed the banter and our ugly mugs, but they'll recognise a decent haircut after all this, anyway.
Exactly, mate. So them self trims on the way forward, guys. If you're listening and you're not a barber, just put the clippers down.
Step away from the clippers.
Step away from the clippers and have a shot with Simon and Gary instead.
That sounds like a dream. we can all brush up on as Welshism.
Sorry.
We can all have a little lesson on as Welshism. We can get all as Welshism up to scratch.
Be careful
Can
now,
everybody,
Simon.
can everybody see me okay? Because when I had that last shot, I had to go to the center. I'm not my phone. Am I in shot all right?
Yeah, you're a little bit. I think there's like a little bit of a light around you, but it looks like you're going to heaven.
You better believe it, sunshine.
You know, he isn't. He isn't.
How do you know, Mr. Machin? I'll not be going if we're taking Barber's arms live on the road. We'll definitely not be doing it. Jack, are you still using the best hair clippers in the world?
Yeah, mate, I'm still using them. Don't worry about that. Absolutely. I'm just waiting for you to send me some new samples to Norway.
Oh, well, after this interview, if we've got any stock, we would do, mate. We'd send it, no problem. It's funny because, Gary, I ain't told you this today when we spoke today, but I've loved it this week. When I see somebody doing live Instagram, especially barbers, I click on and let them know that I'm there. And literally within seconds, they start talking about WAHL clippers because they've seen me there. Oh, yeah, we use WAHL all the time. I just spend my day going around live TV, press live. I should have about 4 devices. Simon Shaw's live. Yeah, WAHL clippers are brilliant. Will you please send some clippers, man? I want some of your clippers. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Now you can see the whiskey's kicking in now.
I got the I got the WAHL certificate on the wall as a finalist to go with the clipper as well, though.
Hey, there's not a lot of them about, you know.
Jack, before you go, you know, it's been great having you on. What's a funny story you've got? A funny story either on your travels or clients or where you've been.
I think one of the funniest is when me and you went away to Toronto. And can you remember when we got there, yeah? When there was supposed to be like 15 models waiting for us. And literally one model turned up. And this has nothing to do with the BBA, by the way. It was the organization of the show. So I'm just going to put that out there. But then there was one guy called Z. Can you remember him? Zomba.
Yeah.
Can you remember him with his long hair? He's like Ukrainian, Toronto. And he turned up. And he had so much energy, and then me and you was just like shitting ourselves thinking, do you know what I mean? And I know Trev was as well because he'd organised everything. And then it was just there, and then all of a sudden, then you have Z calling everyone in his phone book, and next thing you know, we had like 15 models all turn up, and it's like just chaos just turned into like one of the greatest opportunities I've ever had. It was just, you know, like emotions up and down. It was such a fun time. You know, it was a funny story in regards to the panic.
Jack, just before you leave us, oh, sorry, go on, Gary.
Sorry, go.
The funny story carried on because he took us out as well and nearly wrecked us all night. But it turned out they were all professional models, weren't they? So
I've never known a guy to just stand there and just say, "Oh, don't worry, problem solved," and have 15 professional models in his phone. So I mean, I was like, "Whoa, keep this guy's number."
Nice one.
Bye.
Jack, just before we leave you, we just have a quick fire questions here, just to get a little to know our viewers and get to know you a little bit better. So just answer them as quick as you can for us, please. What's your favourite food?
Favorite food? Italian. My missus is Italian.
Italian. Okay. Where's the favourite place that you visited? What's your favourite destination?
Koh Samui, Coco Thames in Thailand.
Sorry? In Thailand?
Thailand, yeah.
So you sat...
Say it again.
I said, you sat in Thailand and you love Italian food. What's your favourite music?
Music, probably hip hop, if I'm honest.
So you're in Thailand, you're listening to hip hop, eating Italian food. Who would you be your ideal dinner date? Don't be a fanny.
My fiance.
Oh,
God. So you sat with your fiance in Thailand, eating Italian food, listening to hip hop music, and what would be your favourite film?
Film. Oh my God, I don't know. Probably Law Abiding Citizen.
Law Abiding Citizen, that's with Russell Crowe.
Gerald Butler.
Gerard Butler, yeah.
Oh yeah,
sorry.
yeah. That's American Gangster, I think, you know. That's a good film as well, though.
Jack, you've been a great guest, mate. Thank you very much for coming. Hope to catch up with you soon, bro. Hopefully, if Salon International's going ahead or something in 2021, hopefully we'll all get together and have a serious beer. In fact, Gary, you need to get the expenses out. I think one of our first Barber's Arms should be in Oslo.
Sounds good, guys. Listen, don't have that in Oslo. Trust me. Joe, yeah, take a loan out if you're gonna do that. I have to every time I go on the piss.
Hey, mate. Wherever we take the Barber's Arms, whoever's local we take you to, they pay.
Oh shit! I'll get some duty free then. We'll just do it in my house. Make sure you bring a bottle from the airport, yeah.
We will do. Jack, you've been a pleasure to have on, mate. Great to see you. Great to catch up. Thanks for all your information about Norway. But keep in touch with everybody at UK, mate. Keep all the information coming. There's out new that's coming up in next week. Get it on your Facebook. And everybody, if you want some more information, some videos that Jack's done, you can look on his Facebook site and page, and he'll give you a bit more information. Guys, you got out to say to Jack?
Love you, mate. Stay safe.
Love you guys.
Good luck.
Thanks so much. God bless, yeah. Thanks very much,
Well done,
guys.
pal. Well done.
Take care. Thanks very much for having me on, guys. Take care.
It's a pleasure, mate.
Bye, guys.
What a great guy, Gary. Sometimes when we do exhibitions and stuff, somebody said it to me earlier today about you're so busy that you have connected with so many barbers and hairdressers in lockdown that you have to look at positives, don't you, in this?
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. I mean, Jack's a lovely guy. I've worked with him in the past. Know his family, met his family as well. All lovely. He's been on the BBA stage for us. And, you know, he's a genuinely nice fella. Doing really well where, you know, in his chosen profession. And because he came out of ladies' hairdressing and went into male grooming. So another success story. Brilliant.
Well, it's great. Leading on to our second guest here in the Arms on Friday, the 1st of May 2020. We have a great guy now who I've known for the last, I've been with WAHL for 20 years now. So he is a lot younger than me. So since he's been in his family business, we've had a great relationship. And when he came over to do his time in the UK as a WAHL family member, we were very close together, and he came and stayed at my house and went out on a few trips, had a few flights together. So it gives me great pleasure, guys, to invite one of the WAHL family here from Sterling, Illinois, where we're based in America. We have the main man himself, Mr. Phil WAHL. Phil, how you doing, bro?
Hey guys, this is awesome. Pleasure to be here. How are you guys doing?
Very nice to meet you, Phil. It's the first time I've met you, so great to have you on the show.
Yeah, awesome.
Phil, it's obviously, I know you inside out. Oh, well, not literally, but being with the brand for 20 years and obviously close to the family. We have this big thing at WAHL, which is the WAHL way. It's the WAHL family way, which it's not just about what we do in terms of the business side of it. It's how we look after our employees and just the general feel factor about WAHL. But for the people who don't know you, Phil, just give them a quick overview of what you do within the role.
Yeah. So first of all, like I said, thanks to having me, guys. This is a real pleasure, and coming from you all the way from the middle of nowhere in the United States, Illinois. So it's a Friday afternoon over here, and just finishing out the workday, and no better way to do it with my boy Simon and little Bud Light. There we go.
Hey, the main man.
So, but yeah, I started on the factory floor in my summers, being a young kid, working on the factory floor, building the clippers, building the trimmers, working in the shipping department, working in the receiving department, working in production, actually seeing how everything is made from scratch to a full clipper that we ship out to customers directly. So the whole thing about being a WAHL family member is we have to really work for it. We've got to earn it. We got to start from the bottom. We need to understand the business and every aspect of it, because you never know at what point you could be thrusted into a role that you may need to assist in and really help. And that's kind of the beauty of a family business, is you wear many hats. We get to do many different things. We have many different roles, and there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. But I think we are made of a different cut and kind of embrace this and really enjoy it. We have a big passion for WAHL. And I love haircutting myself. I'm absolutely going nuts without having one. So I haven't cheated or anything, but I could use a haircut really bad and a beard trim. But yeah, currently today I am a product manager for a new line of beard and grooming products that we just launched. And then I play a big role in our culture. Simon, you mentioned the WAHL way. That is kind of our culture motto, and something that we strive for as a total organization, that you don't have to have the last name to be a part of the WAHL family. All of our employees are brought into the organization and directly a part of the WAHL family. Because we just continue to grow and expand that. And yeah, it's really special.
So Phil, obviously spending your time here in the UK, obviously we're based in 165 countries, but obviously the UK is one of the strongest holds that we have in terms of market share, which is fantastic to be, and you saw that when you came over yourself. To tell all our viewers and all the WAHL users in the UK, how has COVID-19 affected WAHL, just from the HQ point of view, from Stirling? How has it affected the community? How has it affected the factory?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, it's had a tremendous effect on everyone, on everything that we do. But first and foremost, the safety of our employees is the most important thing. So we wanted to take all of the most serious precautions and make sure that we were doing everything we could to protect our employees, because that is the most important thing. It is bigger than hair clippers, and as important as hair clippers are, and beard trimmers, it's not life or death at certain times. So we tried to put that in perspective, and when the governor of Illinois said, hey, you guys have to stay home and shut down things, we did immediately. So since about mid-March, we've been shut down almost completely, with a couple exemptions because we make some special tools for the medical field and et cetera. But within the past couple of weeks, we've really started to ramp things back up. We've relaid out the entire gigantic, over 500,000 square feet facility to allow for social distancing, for allow people to have PPE equipment all over them. And then we even switched to manufacturing some PPE equipment for our local hospitals and then shipping them across the country as well. We created a face shield that protects, that you would wear underneath of your surgical mask, and this would help protect any of those airborne particles getting in your mouth or seeping in through seams or things like that. And we've been shipping those out. So I've been super impressed and very proud of our people and our engineers, and the ability for us to be so agile in a time of crisis like this, to be able to make sure that we're doing the right thing by our employees, and also continuing to support and flourish the customers that need it now. So, in the US, we've been really hit with barbershops and salons closing down completely. And even some states just this week have eased back some of those rules. And it's been interesting to see the reactions of those barbers in those states. Some are dying to get out there because they need the income and they have payments to make, but some are also very, very scared. And I think it's the best thing that we can do here in the States is just be consistent with our messaging and our practices. And as a world educator and WAHL and a global brand, I think we play a big role in that too, in supporting the industry and being vocal in what we're doing to lead the industry, because people look to us for answers as a global brand.
Gary, obviously it's first time you met Phil, so you ask him some questions.
Can I just butt in there? Can I just
butt
in there? Just because, you know, we're in the States, and I know Simon knows you very well, and I don't really, but we're really glad to have you on here. In essence, just because you're in the States, we've got some moonshine here for you.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Pass one on to you, but Simon's got one over there. He's got his tequila, so
ready, guys? This is all going downhill now.
It is Friday night.
This is
Well,
our
that's why-
viewers that are asking us to take shots.
That's why you had me on second, right? This
I was
is
just
party
wondering,
time.
Phil, what I was just saying as well is, how'd you taste your pickled eggs? have you ever tasted pickled eggs?
You know, I'm not a big egg fan, but I do like pickles. So we may be able to have to work that out.
The barmaid's very good here, who we deal with, and she just passed me a pickle. I like pickled eggs in a bag of crisps. You call them chips.
Yep, but I'm familiar with crisps. Yep.
I know Simon likes pickled eggs, so they're his favourite. So I thought I'd just bring them along with us.
Yep. No, my mom is from Tennessee, so I have a little of that Southern blood in me too. So I'm all about the moonshine.
Fantastic. Great part of the world. Just for our viewers out there, you're based in Sterling, aren't you? Just outside Chicago, Rockford, around there?
Yep. Just about 2 hours.
Yeah. So with the lockdown out there, with the state of Illinois, what's been the guidance there on? Is there any chance of you opening up barbershops at the moment and hairdressing salons? Have you been given any timelines there, or how you expect it to open, or anything like that?
Yeah, so I think they've been very loose on barbers and salons for Illinois right now. Our neighboring state, Iowa, has opened up a lot of barbershops and salons, and I think they're really starting to get on board with some of that stuff. Illinois has been very conservative with our approach on kind of everything, and really pushing and shutting everything down before we allow to kind of slowly back open up. I can only really speak for what we're doing at WAHL from a manufacturing standpoint, and really this coming week, we're really going to try and ramp things up to as normal as possible, you know, because we still have, even though barbershops and salons are closed in some parts of the U.S., especially in Illinois, we still have customers like Walmart and Target and CVS and the Walgreens of the world to serve too, because that's another aspect of our business is not the home haircutting, but also the pet industry and then the barbering industry, of course, too. So we're really trying to ramp things up to support all three of those markets. Because with Amazons and the Alibabas of the world and all of these online marketplaces, people want our products all over the world. So we've got to start making something. And I think Simon has alluded to it a little bit earlier that we're running out of stock of stuff. So we got to get back in the shop and get back to the grind of making things. But yeah, for barbershops and salons here in Illinois, I think you're going to see people that are going to be pushing to get those open quicker. Because just speaking to my local barber in the town, he's hurting, you know, going on over 6 weeks of no income in his shop, and that's a long time for anyone. So yeah, we're trying to.
So what? How's the government looking after these guys? Who are they getting no money whatsoever, or can they claim? Or I mean, in the UK, we've been looked at as business people, from owners to actually. People have been furloughed, which are our employees, and then even self-employed up to a point have been looked after. But are you getting any kind of help from the government over there or not?
Yeah, so the state of Illinois has been helpful in some aspects on funding, but it's not any breaking news. The state of Illinois sucks with their funding. We do a pretty bad job with our money as it is, and now that we have a crisis, we're kind of oh crap mode. But I think a lot of people are stepping up to the plate to donate. You know, I think we've made some local donations to local shops and to some other organizations, Barber America Association or things like that, to try and contribute to some of that stuff and help where we can. I think coming out of this is where we're really going to be able to shine, where we can potentially do fundraisers and giveaways for our barbers and for our salons and our members of the WAHL family to really help them get out of this hole and not make it harder for them to get back out on the streets and do their jobs.
Just 1 minute there, Phil. Simon, are you all right?
Yeah, I keep dropping my phone. I can't get it back in focus. Sorry.
You give me that excuse all the time.
I've had a mare with this tonight. Sorry, guys. Not being good, has it?
I thought you were riding a horse at one point.
I know. I can't. I get excited, you see, so I'm moving about all the time. But no, I think listening to you, Phil, it's obviously from our point of view, I think we've seen the kind of growth in this COVID-19 over here as what you've had in the States, and it's kind of took us all a little bit by surprise, but it's gathered momentum really quick as well. So it's kind of been scary. Just to give the guys something to look forward to as well, are we working on any new plans that we can share with the barbers in terms of any new technology, anything new happening from the factory?
Yeah, of course you would ask that question, Simon, like try and get some insider scoop of something and be like, well, we didn't tell anyone. We just told only Barber Association on Facebook Live about everything. So Phil Wall said, so everyone hold your breath. So yeah, I think we're always working on new stuff and new iterations. I think what a huge item you guys have just seen is the all metal magic clip that's really taken off over in the UK, and especially the cordless detailer as well. So I think those two products have been phenomenal for us in the past year or so, but we're always looking for something a little bit new and a little bit edgy. And something is kind of brewing in the background that I can't give all the cards away to, but technology is a key word. I will definitely say that. And I definitely think some new patented inventions for the WAHL team is coming pretty soon that are kind of going to rivet the industry and really make some good waves.
You don't get much out of him, Gaz, are you? He's very keen. We've got Amber, our product manager. She'll be writing all notes down. Phil said this. Phil, when we get guests on, we always ask people to tell us a funny story from travels. But I kind of guess I've got to tell a little bit of this one from your travels when you came to the UK. So young Phil Wall comes in, one of the family members, and he comes over. I think he was out there for about 4 months in the UK.
Yep.
So after a couple of weeks, I give in. I ended up taking him out for we had a real wild night one night, and the next morning I was very clever. As we were leaving that night, he had an apartment on the seafront. I was staying in the hotel, and I said to him, "Oh, on your way past tomorrow morning, pick me up. I can't drive into work because we'd stayed out late." So he said, "Yeah." I went out to the car. And he just sat there with a straight face, didn't smile. I just like, how you doing? How you doing? Both rough, gets into work all day, but really rough. The next night, this is near Christmas as well. The next night we goes out again, and he's back on it again with us. So the following day is our Christmas party. We all gets in there. My boss comes up to me and went, "Where's Phil?" I went, "I don't know." He went back with all of us to get ready. So I'm getting the blame saying, "You've had him out for the last 2 nights. Where is he?" I'm phoning his mobile. "Where are you? I'm getting in trouble here. Where are you?" We started the starters, a few speeches, and then the main course has come out. Phil walks in just as everybody's just sat down for dinner. All the dinners had just been served. The cheers he got, everything, it rippled through the company that Phil had just walked in. I know he weren't happy, were you, bro?
No, I was not. I was taking a piss, maybe is what the phrase is over there a little bit. So I was just recovering, getting some extra beauty rest, and showed up late to my own party.
Well, hey, Phil,
yeah.
If that's the worst that's ever happened to you on a travel trip, you're doing all right, mate. Honestly, you've got away lightly with Simon because he's got me.
Yeah, no, I was holding my breath at what story he was going to tell.
Hey, listen, I took this guy to Leeds United. We were watching Alex train one night, and obviously he's staying up in Yorkshire for a few days because he stayed in Yorkshire, but I remember us getting a flight down to Southampton for a business meeting. Can you remember that? Yeah, I do. And this is a true story, this as well. I know you'll not mind me telling it, but I love fetching stories. I ain't got as good a memory as you, Gary, but can you remember when you're in meetings and we're at a customer, I'll not say which customer, we're at a customer's and there's a few WAHL people there And I started going on one of these big soapboxes. You should be doing this, and WAHL's this, and this. And he's across there just staring at me. I'm thinking, is he all right with all this? And he's texting me under the table saying, go for it, bro. I completely agree with you. Can you remember?
Oh, I definitely do. At the school. I remember the school. Yep.
That's it.
I'm always your biggest cheerleader, buddy. I'm always pushing Simon, keep pushing the threshold and keep doing it. You know, we speak the same love language.
Do you have any stories about me, Phil, that you remember, or are the two too touchy?
This is PGTV. We can't be putting any of that information out here to you, and so we'll save that for a rainy day.
Oh, Phil, yes, you can. No, there's only us three in the pub. This is a pub now.
Yeah.
Nobody else is listening.
Yeah. No, you know, I think one of my fondest memories of Simon is obviously just how generous he was to me during my time over there. Like you mentioned, I got to go up and see his house and meet his beautiful family. And I think that's one thing about Simon that maybe everyone on the barber side of the industry doesn't see as much, as how family oriented he really is. He loves his family. He cares deeply about them. And when he's not doing amazing fades and haircuts, he is spending all the time in the world with his family and watching play soccer or football, how you guys say it, even though we love the American football over here. I think just Simon's kindness and his generosity, and always treat me like one of the lads, even though he never really had to. So, you know, I'll keep it. I won't put him on blast today.
Oh, you have just blown some smoke up his ass.
Listen, Gav, I used to, because Phil obviously being one of the younger members of the family, I kind of corrupted him a little bit, because when we go in places, I'd have a WAHL box with me, and I'd be going up to people saying, ask him what his surname is, ask him what his name is. And he'd be like, he knew, because there'd be people stood around saying, oh, I'm such and such, what's your name? And he'd go, Phil WAHL. And I'm like, that's the name. And he's looking at me and going, stop it, leave it.
Yeah, I stopped blushing after hanging out with Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had some good times, bro, when you came over. And it weird this year as well. Obviously, last year we had all those 100-year anniversary celebrations, but this year's like 101, and we had so many good things planned and so many exciting things. We started off with a photo shoot, and then it's all gone a little bit like, well, we're going to have to get the positives out of it, but it's going to be a little bit weird 101. What's the rest of the family's take on everything? How is all the family?
Yeah, you know, we just celebrated 100 years. And so through those last 100 years, there's been a lot of turmoil and issues and things that have happened in the world. You know, maybe nothing like COVID-19 quite yet, but, you know, the Great Depression, we had a recession just back in 2009 and 2008, you know, and I think WAHL has persevered. So I think that's just a part of our mentality and our attitude is perseverance. You know, I think we continue the legacy, and we know that we're building something bigger than the individual. And I think that's what our mission is. In times like this, you need to come together, and that's when family really matters the most. So I think we've just taken over some new leadership, and some of us young guns have taken over the business a little bit, and I think we're excited to jump into the future with a lot of optimism and positivity, and this will just be another speed bump in the journey of where we're going.
Do you want to explain to everybody what G4 means? 4G, G4.
Yeah, yep. G4 is generation 4. So we're 4th generation family members. I'm in the 4th generation, and my other cousins and are the 4th generation as well. And now we're in charge of the business. So what that means is my great grandfather created the first ever hair clipper. So we wouldn't be here and talking about any of this or having this conversation if he wouldn't have made that amazing invention almost over 100 years ago. So I just want to be able to contribute and add some value to that and carry on his legacy as proudly as I can, you know, because like I mentioned, it's bigger than the individual, and I want to be able to pass this on to my kids and their kids and talk about this for another thousands of years to go on.
I think that's a great legacy as well. I mean, it's very rare in companies as big as WAHL that they're still family owned. I mean, that's quite unbelievable, and it's a great, it's a great legacy for your predecessors to actually leave for you guys as well, which I think it's very rare. It's very rare these days, and it's something you should be proud of. I think it's fantastic. I mean, we've used WAHL products, and I'm not just saying this because I come from a fourth generation barbers, and my dad and his uncle, you know, we've used WAHL clippers from start to finish, and it's quite unbelievable that a company can keep control as well and not sell out, if you like. Which is an excellent point. Great to see. Great to see.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, Gary, and I thank you and your family for choosing WAHL. You know, I think there's a lot of choices out there, and it's sometimes it's easier to choose a different brand because of the price or because of so and so or something. But I think once people use our tools and they use them for a long period of time, they learn to trust them and rely on them. And I think reliability and quality is very, very important for anyone using any tool. So thank you for choosing WAHL and being so loyal to us, because we wouldn't be around without the barbers like yourself and Simon who dedicate their lives to our brand and your guys' beautiful, passionate, artistic things that you guys do.
Brilliant. Next time I'm in Chicago, I'm definitely coming to see you. We'll go out.
For sure. You're more than welcome, Gary.
Phil, if you had, obviously from my point of view, and obviously from the company's point of view, we always have a constant message to our customers, our fan base that we have, and a big following. But coming from a WAHL person, what would you want to say to the UK hairdressing and barbering audience? What would you want to say from the brand's point of view?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much to all of our essential workers out there. You know, thank you.
No, sorry, I'm not laughing at you. I've just heard Brian Guam give me a message over here. I'll come to that in a minute. Sorry. I was laughing to me.
Nope, you're good. So, but yeah, thank you to everyone in the UK and across the globe for all the work that you guys are doing and sacrificing. You know, if the hardest thing that we have to do in our lives is spend time at home, I'll definitely take that. You know, we're not having to go fight a war or do any of that stuff. So I think everyone keeping on and doing the right things and staying safe and practicing the guidelines that are being directed at you in these countries. But from a WAHL standpoint, thank you for your support. We look forward to serving you guys for another 100 years and continuing to provide you the best tools in the industry. So I think the important thing about WAHL is we're real people. We're not a bunch of big corporate people in big buildings and big seats. We're real people who use these products and love these products. And I think that's unique about who we are. So I hope people see that we're a genuine, real company and continue to support and lean on WAHL for their needs in the barber trade.
Thank you, bro. Before you leave, Phil, just so our viewers can just get to know you a little bit better, we just have a quick 5-question fire answer.
Yep.
So first of all, Phil, what's your favorite film of all time?
Favorite film of all time? You know, it's probably Jaws.
Same here, mate. I love it. The first one, Roy Schneider. Yeah. Yep. Favorite film, Jaws. What's your favorite food?
Ooh, you can't go wrong with a good pizza, man. Chicago, we got good pizza.
So we're watching Jaws and we're eating a pizza. What's your favorite music?
Favorite music? You know, I like some good classic rock, like AC/DC, some good stuff, like classic rock stuff.
Perfect. So you sat watching Jaws, you're eating pizza, you're listening to some AC/DC, and what would be your favorite drink? My favorite drink?
Oh, this is a tough one. Probably a sweet tea with a lemon.
Easy. Okay, well, we'll go for your first answer. So you're eating pizza, you're watching Jaws, you're listening to AC/DC, and you're drinking sweet lemon tea. Who would be your ideal dinner date?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna say my beautiful girlfriend Chelsea. You know, I think she makes for good company, and she likes to talk a lot more than me, so I get to just kind of sit there and stare and eat.
So we've got Phil Wall watching Jaws, drinking sweet lemon tea, listening to AC/DC, eating pizza with his beautiful fiancée Chelsea. Phil, you've been a pleasure, bro, to have you on Barber's Arms for British Barbers Association and WAHL. I'm sure all our viewers have enjoyed having a real WAHL person on as well, which in these difficult times, I thank you for coming in and doing that, bro. It's great to see you. I hope that I see you in Chicago, in Sterling, 2020. If not, it's going to be 2021. But send my regards to Lance and Kevin and Brian and Mike and everybody, all the family. We're doing everything possible here in the UK to keep things rolling. So thank you very much. You're the man.
Yep. Thanks, Simon. Love you, buddy.
Love you, bro.
Lovely to have you on, mate. Lovely
Yeah,
to have you on, mate. It's been great.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, bro.
Congrats on the continued success.
Cheers, man. Thank you. Okay, guys. So far, so good. Two great guests. I mean, you know, I don't know about you. First night, it's not that it dragged. And you can still see I'm having technical difficulties holding my screen up. Somebody sent me a message like this little man with a little nose over the wall. I do apologise to everybody. I'm a technical.
Tell me, head's cut off.
I do think, obviously, a few shots of whiskey, some Peronis, and red wine. We're trying to keep up with you at moonshine shit. In fact, let's have a shot while we're talking. Let's not let the side down. I think we've got a little one of your fans joining us. This is what we want to try and do on Barbers Arms as well. Is each week is we're going to increase the visitors and increase the people who are going to come into the arms and have a beer with us and have a chat with us. So I think in a second we will be hopefully getting Brian knocking on our pub door. But in between that, guys, ready?
Apparently, I'm allowed to drink moonshine from this moment on. Rachel's just passed it me and she says it's a moonshine free zone now, so I'm on the shine now, baby.
That was funny last week. It just like it's if your tongue didn't come through passport control. And you didn't have a lot to drink. You drank more each week. We had a lot more to drink when we had Gary Jackson on. And it's funny, isn't it? We have some more people joining us as well. I'll just go through some more people that's just joined us. We have had Ross Leto, Wesley Martin, Sadie Williams, Julie Owen, D. Ludlow, Savile Barbers, Joff. I've been on phone to Joff today. And Andy Longstaff and Michelle Ludlow. So all these have been joining as well. It's been great. I know we get a lot of views afterwards. So you'll be able to see this on the BBA Facebook page afterwards as well. So I know we get lots of views afterwards. So I know if you are busy sometimes on Friday evening with your family, then you can watch it afterwards. Yes, Gary.
Just before we take Brian on, can I thank everybody who's decided to tune in around the world as well, because I know this isn't the best time for everybody. We've got Jasmine Strachan and Michelle Caprio and Michelle, in Canada. We got Adrian at the Barber Lounge. Got loads and loads of people that follow us, and from the East Coast to the West Coast as well. 188 Jen's Place, all these people. We've met so many people on our travels, and I'm sure you're the same, Simon. To name everybody would be unbelievable, but it's great to see all these people involved as well.
It is. Look, I said to you earlier.
So are we ready for Brian to join?
Yeah, of course. I said to you earlier, when you see people coming up that's abroad on all the chats that we've done this week, it's just, it's fantastic. It just shows what a fantastic community we are. Do we have Brian in the pub?
Are you there, Brian? Come in. Number 17, your time is up. He's there.
Okay, now it looks like an extra off Castaway.
Hey, there they are. Look at that.
Hey, how are you, mate?
I'm good.
Hey,
I want you to
listen. Have you not had your hair cut since I last cut it?
No, I haven't had my hair cut since I don't know. Well, you can tell. And obviously, I've been knocking on your door for the last half hour to get in. Where have you?
You're here now, baby.
What's going on, Simon? Looks like your head is on fire.
I know. It's a special effect that we've been able to import in tonight for the. There's no expense spared on the BBA. You see, there's like I'm on fire tonight, so they said, right, We're going to put some special effects on you. We'll forget that you're a technophobe and you can't get your screen on landscape, and we'll put this fire on you. So, yeah, I like it. It's mint, innit? Looks like I've got a fridge.
It definitely has an effect for sure, guys. So this is the fourth time I've actually tuned in to watch you guys. And it's great. You guys are actually the most over tonight that I've seen. Is that because it's just catching up, or?
Well, I don't know about you. I'm red hot. I've had 2 whiskeys, 2 glasses of red wine, and 2 Peronis. So I'm like, I'm on fire. Literally, look. It's happening, bro.
Well, I'm glad I was able to catch you when you're on fire for sure. What's happening over there in the UK? I hear Boris is back to work and everything's going well with him.
Boris is back, but we're not back to it. That's the only trouble. What's happening what's happening with you? What's happening with local barbers there?
Well, it's no one's actually gotten back to work in Canada. In the US, obviously your friends in Georgia are back. I think in Utah, they actually never left. I don't believe that I think they never shut down. But in Georgia, they're back. In Oklahoma, they're back. In Canada, I think the first ones are back on Monday. In Manitoba. And then from there, it looks like probably some of them will be back till June or July. It's quite an event, you know. The industry's really taken quite a hit, I think, as you know. But in the salon and barber industry, I think it's going to be at least scattered back to probably in North America over the next 2 months.
Brian, for our viewers out there, all the guys, I mean, obviously me and Simon, we know you very well. Just let everybody know who you are, what you are, and where you are at the moment.
Sure, Gary. So I was a consultant for the beauty industry for a long time. I've got over 30 years experience in the beauty and barber industry. More so the barber industry, probably the last 5 years. I helped bring the BBA to North America and get that going in that market. And now I'm actually the area manager for a brand called Insight. And that is a sustainable brand that's launching in North America in July. So I'm actually doing a lot of volunteer work right now in Canada to help the associations get mobilized across Canada for the beauty and some of the barbering industry. In Canada, we're a lot like the UK, and parts of it we are like the US. We have some regulations, so those provinces in Canada are well represented. So they're able to control their back to work protocols when the government says so. But in most of Canada, we're like the UK, so we have to lobby, and each region is lobbying. So part of what I've done over the last 4 weeks is help the associations mobilize together and work to have a common voice.
So where are you at the moment?
I'm in Montreal.
So you're in Montreal, and you're really, really into French Canadian women, though, aren't you?
Well, of course. We do a burlesque show here every Friday night after you guys get off.
Yeah, well, I've met your blonde, and she's a lovely looking lady. Is she still working in the health service?
Yeah, she's working as a psychiatric resident. Luckily for her, she's in a children's hospital for the next 2 months, which is good because COVID hasn't really affected them that much. But she's frontline. Yeah, she's working. She's Quebec actually.
So, right.
Quebec actually is probably the worst. Yeah.
So what you drinking today then?
I'm drinking Zeybek Rocky from Turkey. Oh yeah.
Nice.
I broke this out just for you, Gary.
Hey, Brian, while you're on, let's just put Gary on the spot. Have you got any funny stories about Mr. Machin?
Don't you dare.
Where do you want me to stop?
Clean. The thing.
Well, Gary, what am I allowed to say? Out of from 1 to 10, what am I allowed to say?
4.
Okay. Well, I guess one of the better stories with Gary is, and I'm sure you've seen this, Simon, is every time you go out for a pub, Gary has this innate ability basically just to have people open up and spill their guts to him. And it is definitely something I've seen quite often in North America at several bars. My favorite one was in New York City, where this lawyer decided to take a liking to Gary, and he wanted to go home around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And he ended up staying out with us till around 5 in the morning. And he had to get up for a presentation the next morning or the next day. Gary and I had a presentation, but we were able to deal with that okay. But we were quite concerned about this guy. So yeah, so that would be probably, without getting into too much detail, there were Russian helmets involved. There's some pictures, but I think I've got locks on them, or I'm not allowed to. And yeah, that was one of many.
That's quite tame for you, that is, I tell you. Very good. I love you. Thank you.
Diplomatic. And of course, of him falling asleep, understandably, at airports. That's true, but there's some good ones. And I listened in to a couple last couple weeks, and both of them, all of the ones that were brought up by Gary gave me a laugh. But there's plenty he has on me too, so I'm going to be very good.
Thanks, mate. But honestly, from your point of view, where do you think this is going to go in Canada? What do you think is going to happen? How long? I know you've got an insight into the industry. You've worked in the industry a long time. You know a lot of people in the industry, government as well, local council. Where do you think this is going to go in Canada? Where do you think it's going to go?
Well, I think it's a good question. I mean, no one really knows. I watched a webinar on Wednesday that was outlining where the industry is headed worldwide. And this was put on by a couple of big organizations, including Cody was involved. The reality is that, it's going to take a long time to get back to normal. And for the industry, I think you're going to see a large amount of salons and barbershops not come back, or when they do come back, they'll be very limited. But that's not to say we won't come out of this stronger over time. And I think there'll be a lot of entrepreneurs that'll be doing some interesting things. One of the areas that I think that's going to really pick up.
Brian, can I just put in before you finish this story? Because we obviously you've just dropped into the bar, but we've got some live music, so we can come back to you in a second because you've got another gig on Music in Isolation tonight. So if you just don't mind, we're going to hand back over to Tom, who's just going to give us, our viewers and our listeners, a little bit of light entertainment. We'll come back to you, Brian, in a short second. But Trevor, if we're all ready, we can get Tom on.
Yeah, we're going to cut your ass off.
Tom, are you okay, bro?
Nice up, pal.
Are you back on?
I'm back on, mate. I'm back on.
Well, we're finishing off with Tom.
Come on, be like that.
What do you want, Jay? What do you want? Champagne supernova?
Oh,
Champagne
yeah.
supernova sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We're ready. Stay tuned in, hold on. How many lives living straight? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide on a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide. Champagne supernova, champagne supernova in the sky. Pick up the dawn and ask you why. Dream a dream she'll never die. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide. Champagne supernova, champagne supernova. The people believe that they're gonna get away for the summer. You and I will live and die. We'll keep spinning around. I don't know why, why? We were getting high. 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 How many special people change? How many lives living straight? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me up beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me up beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, champagne supernova. 'Cause people believe that they're gonna get away for the summer. You and I will live and die. We'll keep spinning around. I don't know why. We were getting high. 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 Cue.
Thomas,
Right.
thank you very much. Sunshine.
No problem.
Are we going for his walk tomorrow
Yeah.
from a
I'll
distance?
say yeah. I'll say yeah.
Okay. Thanks, bro, for coming on. Thomas Castor, you're about to see him. Are you on Music in Isolation tomorrow night?
I don't know yet. Well, I haven't put my name down yet, but there's a possibility, yeah.
and I'm sure we'll get the music, the sound sorted out at this end for next week. But Tom, thanks very much, bro. Absolutely fantastic. Thanks, man.
No problem, pal. See you later.
Thank you.
Tom, hey, Tom.
Yes.
Fantastic, mate. And you're on isolation generation. Hopefully that's, did you get that? Hopefully we've got that anyway.
Now, Gary and Brian, we've got 2 minutes left to finish Brian's story, then we've cut off. So we've got 2 minutes, Brian. Can you carry on your story in 2 minutes?
Yeah, for sure, mate. That was amazing, by the way. Is he a friend of yours, Simon?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. We've got a friend that's a magician, a friend that sings guitar like that. We've got a fantastic local boozer. So listen, next time you're in England, you want to come to Yorkshire, ask Jackie and Ross, and Gary's been as well. It's just a great local to go to. And whilst they have different turns on and different musicians on, Tom, after they're finished, always gets up his guitar. But I mean, this kid can probably do about 50 songs. He can do a concert on his own. The Zoom audio didn't give him justice. He's fantastic in real life.
Yeah,
so.
no, he was amazing. It kind of reminds me, I mean, before I finish my story, I wanted to, do a shout out to my friends in Nova Scotia. They had quite an incident a couple of weeks ago. There was a mass shooting and it was really affected the morale of everybody in that area, obviously. But on a positive note, we have what they call a kitchen party, and it's on Facebook, and you can see a lot of great musicians from all across Eastern Canada, where I'm from, Nova Scotia. And it kind of reminds me of Ireland and maybe northern part of England as well, where the talent is amazing, and you get to see and hear some great people. So for sure, I would love that when they come over. So
Brian, we are short of time, so if we can wrap this up as quick, we'll try and get you back on again next week, because basically before you finish the story, I want to tell everybody what our director Trevor has asked is, guys, if you're interested in coming on next week onto Barber's Arms to join me and the ledge, Mr. Machin, first of all, your criteria is that you need to have moonshine and plenty of shots and plenty of drinks around you. You don't need to be a diva like me and get your camera wrong all night and have fire coming out your head. But we're looking for 25 guests next week to have a big group pub Barber's Arms chat next week. So I'm sure you can just send your message into the British Barbers Association Facebook page, and let's see if we can get you on next week. Brian, can you finish off for us?
Yeah.
Can I just say you need to send it into admin at British Barbers.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, we'll get you lots of barbers from over here. Yeah. So just to finish up, the industry is definitely going to rebound. I think what we're part of what we're expecting to see, at least on the hair side, I'm not sure so much on the barber side, maybe, is a movement towards kind of Uber for barbering. There seems to be a bit of a movement to do regulated home services or office services, where, especially in the beginning, because there just seems to be that salons and barbershops are just not going to be able to handle a lot of the demand in the very beginning. So there could be some services, as long as they're protected. We're not sure if that's going to, how that's going to be, but in regulated provinces and in states, mobile services is regulated. So hopefully that will maintain a good part of the industry. And obviously, I think there's going to be a lot of movement towards consultation, how to groom online, how to do a lot of digital. A lot of digital seems to be coming up. So there's lots more.
Brian, we'll try and get in touch with you for next week if we can, to finish this off next week. So I'd love to hear what's happening in Canada. I know I'll speak to Louis a bit, and I know you guys have. It's not been as heavy in Canada as what it has been in the UK, but it's great for you to drop in for a beer with us in the Barber's Arms. But we're gonna have to wrap it up. So thank you for joining us, Brian. Thank you for coming in and having a little Turkish raki or tequila. But we'll hopefully see you next week. Gaz, what a show! Again, Barber's Arms gets to a different level. We've had music on tonight. We've had Phil Wall on tonight. We've had Brian Guam on from Canada. We've had the fantastic Jack Ludlow from Norway. What a show!
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely fantastic. And it goes to show, I mean, we've got a lot of people out there. I mean, Alison's out there. Alison and all the people that everybody that is on live. We can't just repeat everybody's name. I'm sorry. We just because we're actually filming here as well. But can I just say we're all thinking about you. We're all loving you as well. All the guys out there. Oh, the things with everybody out there at the moment is just got to stay positive. Can I just, and I don't know about you, Sam, and I don't know if anybody's thought about this yet, but like from a point of view of staff and what we do, and every we all celebrate all different things, but I don't know if everybody realizes the May bank holiday. This should be today, isn't it? It's the 1st, but it's the 8th, isn't it? This time it's VE Day.
Yeah.
So I mean, from our point of view, it's for a company. We got huge flags, everything. We wanted to, from a company, we wanted to celebrate this massively, but it's up, and obviously everything's up in the air. Flags, everything else. We want to, when we do football and everything else, but I don't know what's going to happen. So,
well, listen, I think for everybody back home, Boris is making an announcement next week. I won't try and think to everybody, because you've heard some people that's going back. Let's all start rushing up and opening his back doors and stuff. I don't literally mean opening your back doors, but opening up your salons and stuff. Let's wait till it's right. Let's make sure this country, we are Great Britons, and let's make sure we are Great Britons. Let's do it when it's right. We don't want to second fight. Let's just make sure we do it right. Let's listen to the government, whether you love it or hate it. I'm a follower of the government, and I just think we're just going to do it right. Keep your spirits up, guys. Hopefully tonight we've given you a little bit of inspiration. You've had a laugh, and you've enjoyed a bit of music, even though it's through Zoom. Have a look at this if you want to watch it back again on the BBA Facebook site. But from myself point of view as well, from WAHL, thanks for having Phil Wall on. Thanks for having Jack Ludlow and Brian Guam. I'm going to let Gary finish off, but from my point of view, guys, let's stay positive. We're nearly there. The light is at the end of the tunnel. Stay positive, do the right thing, and together we will be stronger. We will get through this. I love you all. Speak to you next Friday on Barber's Arms. Over to Mr. Machin for the final word.
From me to him, and to me to him. I love you.
Love you, bro. Good night, guys. Thank you very much. Adios.